day. Well done. Welcome to Luminous Tomorrow. A place where no matter what kind of day you've had, you can find peace, rest, and wake up feeling refreshed. With soothing words and the healing sound music, let's release the weight of the day and ease into deep relaxation. Now, gently close your eyes and take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose. Fill your belly with air. And exhale gently through your mouth. Now, let's release the tension in your body. Start by relaxing your shoulders. Then your neck. Feel the tension melting away from your arms, hands, and fingertips. Now, let go of any tension in your legs. Let your entire body sink into a state of calm and relaxation. Now that your body is relaxed and your mind is at ease, let's take a moment to reflect on tonight's theme. Chapter 1. Living in the Present. Living in the present is one of the most powerful practices we can cultivate for a fulfilling and meaningful life. It is about fully experiencing each moment, embracing the here and now without being weighed down by regrets of the past or anxieties about the future. When we learn to live in the present, we open ourselves up to the beauty, joy, and possibilities that surround us every day. This chapter explores what it means to truly live in the present, why it matters, and how we can make it a daily habit. From the moment we wake up to the moment we fall asleep, our lives are made up of countless small moments. Each breath, each step, each conversation, and each interaction is an opportunity to be fully present. Yet, in our busy, fast-paced world, it is easy to get caught up in thoughts about what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow. We often find ourselves distracted, preoccupied, or simply going through the motions without really experiencing life as it unfolds. Learning to live in the present is about breaking free from these patterns and rediscovering the richness of the present moment. Living in the present does not mean ignoring the past or neglecting the future. The past is a valuable teacher, and the future is an important source of motivation and inspiration. However, when we become too focused on what has already happened or what might happen, we miss out on the only time we truly have the present. The present is where life happens, where we make choices, where we experience emotions, and where we connect with others. It is the foundation upon which our future is built. One of the keys to living in the present is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. It is about being aware of what is happening inside and around us, right here and right now. Mindfulness helps us to slow down, to notice the small details, and to appreciate the beauty of everyday life. When we practice mindfulness, we become more attuned to our own needs, more responsive to the needs of others, and more open to new experiences. Another important aspect of living in the present is gratitude. Gratitude is the practice of recognizing and appreciating the good things in our lives, no matter how small. When we focus on what we are grateful for, we shift our attention away from what is lacking or what is troubling us and toward what is positive and meaningful. Gratitude helps us to see the world in a new light, to find joy in simple things, and to cultivate a sense of contentment and peace. Living in the present also means letting go of perfectionism and the need to control everything. Life is unpredictable, and we cannot always control what happens to us. However, we can control how we respond. When we accept that things will not always go as planned, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. We become more flexible, more resilient, and better able to adapt to change. Letting go of the need to control allows us to embrace uncertainty and to find peace in the present moment. Another way to live in the present is to focus on the people around us. Human connection is one of the most important sources of happiness and fulfillment. When we are truly present with others, listening deeply, making eye contact, and giving our full attention, we strengthen our relationships and create meaningful memories. Being present with others also helps us to feel seen, heard, and valued, which in turn boosts our own sense of well-being. Living in the present is also about savoring the small moments. Life is not just made up of big events and milestones, but also of countless small moments. A warm cup of tea, a kind word from a friend, a beautiful sunset, or a quiet walk in nature. When we take the time to notice and appreciate these moments, we enrich our lives and deepen our sense of gratitude and joy. Another important aspect of living in the present is self-compassion. It is easy to be hard on ourselves, to dwell on mistakes, or to worry about what others think. However, when we practice self-compassion, we treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. We recognize that we are human, that we make mistakes, and that we are doing the best we can. Self-compassion helps us to let go of self-criticism and to be more present with ourselves and with others. Living in the present also means being open to new experiences. When we approach life with curiosity and openness, we are more likely to notice opportunities, to learn new things, and to grow as individuals. Being open to new experiences helps us to stay engaged, to keep learning, and to find joy in the unexpected. Another way to live in the present is to practice letting go of distractions. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with information, notifications, and demands on our attention. It is easy to become distracted and to lose sight of what truly matters. By setting boundaries, turning off notifications, and making time for quiet reflection, we can create space to be present and to focus on what is most important to us. Living in the present also means embracing imperfection. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of ups and downs. When we accept that imperfection is a natural part of life, we become more resilient and better able to handle whatever comes our way. Embracing imperfection allows us to be more authentic, more compassionate, and more present with ourselves and with others. Ultimately, living in the present is about finding peace and joy in the here and now. It is about letting go of regrets and worries and embracing the beauty of each moment. When we learn to live in the present, we become more resilient, more grateful, and more connected to ourselves and to the world around us. Let us remember that the present is the only time we truly have. The past is gone, and the future is not yet here. All we have is this moment right here, right now. By making a conscious effort to live in the present, we create a life that is richer, more meaningful, and more fulfilling. Living in the present is not always easy, especially when we are faced with stress, uncertainty, or challenging circumstances. However, it is precisely during these times that being present can be most powerful. When we focus on the present, we are better able to manage stress, to make wise decisions, and to find creative solutions to problems. We are also better able to connect with others, to offer support, and to find comfort in shared experiences. One practical way to cultivate presence is through breathing exercises. Taking a few deep breaths, focusing on the sensation of the breath, entering and leaving our bodies, can help to calm the mind and bring us back to the present moment. Breathing exercises are simple, accessible, and can be practiced anywhere, at any time. They are a powerful tool for reducing stress, increasing focus, and enhancing our sense of well-being. Another way to live in the present is to practice gratitude journaling. Taking a few minutes each day to write down things we are grateful for helps us to notice the positive aspects of our lives and to cultivate a sense of appreciation. Gratitude journaling can shift our perspective, boost our mood, and remind us of the many blessings we often take for granted. Mindful eating is another powerful practice for living in the present. When we eat mindfully, we pay attention to the taste, texture, and aroma of our food. We eat slowly, savoring each bite, and noticing how the food makes us feel. Mindful eating helps us to develop a healthier relationship with food, to enjoy our meals more, and to be more present in our daily lives. Spending time in nature is also a wonderful way to cultivate presence. Nature has a way of grounding us, slowing us down, and reminding us of the beauty and wonder of the world. Whether it is a walk in the park, a hike in the mountains, or simply sitting under a tree, spending time in nature helps us to reconnect with ourselves and to appreciate the present moment. Living in the present is also about being fully engaged in our activities. Whether we are working, playing, or spending time with loved ones, being fully present means giving our full attention to what we are doing. When we are present, we are more creative, more productive, and more likely to find joy in our work and our relationships. Another important aspect of living in the present is letting go of multitasking. While it may seem efficient to do several things at once, multitasking often leads to distraction, stress, and reduced quality of work. When we focus on one thing at a time, we are more efficient, more effective, and more present in our actions. Living in the present is also about embracing change. Life is constantly changing, and the ability to adapt and to stay present in the face of change is essential for growth and resilience. When we embrace change, we become more flexible, more open-minded, and better able to navigate the ups and downs of life. Ultimately, living in the present is a choice to be fully here, fully engaged, and fully alive. It is a practice that requires intention, awareness, and commitment. But the rewards are profound: greater peace, deeper joy, and a richer, more meaningful life. Let us remember that the present is a gift dome that is available to us at every moment. By making a conscious effort to live in the present, we honor this gift and create a life that is truly worth living. Living in the present is not about ignoring our responsibilities or avoiding planning for the future. Rather, it is about finding a balance between being present and being prepared. We can set goals, make plans, and take action toward our dreams while still being fully present in each step of the journey. When we combine presence with purpose, we create a life that is both meaningful and joyful. One of the challenges of living in the present is dealing with negative thoughts and emotions. It is natural to experience fear, sadness, or frustration from time to time. However, when we are present with our emotions, acknowledging them, accepting them, and allowing them to pass away prevent them from taking over our lives. Being present with our emotions helps us to process them in a healthy way and to move forward with greater clarity and resilience. Another important aspect of living in the present is practicing self-care. Taking care of our physical, mental, and emotional well-being is essential for being present and engaged in our lives. Self-care can take many forms: getting enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, exercising, spending time with loved ones, or simply taking a moment to relax and recharge. When we prioritize self-care, we are better able to show up fully in our lives and to be present for ourselves and for others. Living in the present is also about embracing simplicity. In a world that often values busyness and accumulation, simplicity can be a powerful antidote. When we simplify our lives, decluttering our spaces, reducing our commitments, and focusing on what truly matters, we create more space for presence, peace, and joy. Another way to live in the present is to practice forgiveness. Holding onto grudges or regrets from the past can weigh us down and prevent us from being fully present. When we practice forgiveness for ourselves and for others, we free ourselves from the burden of the past and open ourselves up to the possibilities of the present. Living in the present is also about being open to learning and growth. Every moment is an opportunity to learn something new, to gain insight, and to grow as a person. When we approach life with curiosity and a willingness to learn, we stay engaged, motivated, and present in our journey. Ultimately, living in the present is about creating a life that is authentic, meaningful, and joyful. It is about being fully here, fully engaged, and fully alive. When we make a conscious effort to live in the present, we create a foundation for happiness, resilience, and fulfillment. Let us remember that the present is the only time we truly have. By making a conscious effort to live in the present, we honor this gift and create a life that is truly worth living. Chapter 2. Shining Your Own Light. Shining your own light is about embracing your unique qualities, sharing your gifts with the world, and living authentically. It is the journey of discovering who you truly are, recognizing your strengths, and allowing yourself to be seen and heard. In a world that often encourages conformity, shining your own light is a courageous act that not only transforms your own life but also inspires those around you. This chapter explores what it means to shine your own light, why it matters, and how you can cultivate this powerful way of being. Each of us is born with a unique combination of talents, passions, and perspectives. No two people are exactly alike, and it is this diversity that makes the world such a rich and vibrant place. Yet, as we grow up, we are often taught to fit in, to follow the crowd, and to seek approval from others. While it is important to respect social norms and to work well with others, it is equally important to honor our individuality and to express our true selves. Shining your own light is about finding the balance between fitting in and standing out, between being part of a community and being true to who you are. One of the first steps in shining your own light is self-discovery. This is the process of exploring your interests, values, and passions, and identifying what makes you unique. Self-discovery is an ongoing journey, one that requires curiosity, openness, and a willingness to try new things. By paying attention to what excites you, what challenges you, and what brings you joy, you begin to uncover your authentic self. This process can be both exciting and challenging, as it often involves stepping outside of your comfort zone and confronting fears and insecurities. But the rewards are profound: a deeper sense of self, greater confidence, and a clearer sense of purpose. Another important aspect of shining your own light is self-acceptance. It is about embracing all parts of yourself, your strengths and your weaknesses, your successes and your failures, your light and your shadows. Self-acceptance does not mean complacency or giving up on growth. Rather, it is the foundation upon which true growth is built. When you accept yourself as you are, you free yourself from the need for external validation, and allow yourself to grow from a place of authenticity and self-respect. Self-acceptance is a powerful act of self-love, and it is essential for shining your own light. Shining your own light also means being willing to take risks and to step outside of your comfort zone. Growth and transformation rarely happen in the safety of the familiar. When you challenge yourself, try new things, and take on new responsibilities, you expand your horizons and discover new aspects of yourself. Taking risks can be scary, but it is also exhilarating and empowering. Each time you step into the unknown, you grow stronger, more resilient, and more confident in your ability to shine. Another key to shining your own light is authenticity. Authenticity is about being true to yourself, speaking your truth, and living in alignment with your values. When you are authentic, you do not hide behind a mask or pretend to be someone you are not. Instead, you show up as yourself, with all your quirks, imperfections, and unique qualities. Authenticity is magnetic. It draws people to you, builds trust, and creates deep, meaningful connections. When you are authentic, you give others permission to do the same, creating a ripple effect of courage and self-expression. Shining your own light is not about seeking attention or validation from others. It is about expressing yourself fully and allowing your light to illuminate the world around you. When you shine your own light, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage, creativity, and authenticity become a source of hope and inspiration for those around you. You become a role model, showing others that it is possible to be true to yourself and to live a life of purpose and joy. Another important aspect of shining your own light is resilience. The journey of self-expression is not always easy. There will be times when you face criticism, rejection, or self-doubt. But when you are resilient, you are able to bounce back from setbacks, to learn from your experiences, and to keep moving forward. Resilience is built through practice, through facing challenges, making mistakes, and continuing to show up, even when it is difficult. Each time you overcome a challenge, you become stronger and more confident in your ability to shine. Shining your own light also means being willing to share your gifts with the world. Each of us has something unique to offer: a talent, a skill, a perspective, or a way of being that can make a difference in the lives of others. When you share your gifts, you not only enrich your own life but also contribute to the well-being of your community and the world at large. Sharing your gifts can take many forms: creating art, teaching, mentoring, volunteering, or simply being a supportive friend or family member. Whatever form it takes, sharing your gifts is a powerful way to shine your own light. Another important aspect of shining your own light is gratitude. When you take time to appreciate your own strengths, your progress, and the opportunities you have been given, you cultivate a sense of confidence and abundance. Gratitude helps you to recognize the value of your own light and to appreciate the light in others. By practicing gratitude, you create a positive, supportive environment in which everyone is encouraged to shine. Shining your own light is also about setting boundaries. It is important to protect your energy, your time, and your well-being so that you can continue to shine brightly. Setting boundaries means saying no when necessary, prioritizing your needs, and surrounding yourself with people who support and uplift you. When you set healthy boundaries, you create space for your own growth and self-expression. Ultimately, shining your own light is about creating a life that is true to who you are. It is about embracing your uniqueness, sharing your gifts, and inspiring others to do the same. When you shine your own light, you contribute to a world that is more vibrant, compassionate, and full of possibility. Let us remember that the world needs your light. There is only one you, and your unique perspective, talents, and gifts are irreplaceable. By shining your own light, you make the world a brighter, more beautiful place not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Shining your own light is not about being perfect or having all the answers. It is about being willing to show up as you are, to learn as you go, and to share your journey with others. When you embrace your imperfections and allow yourself to be vulnerable, you inspire others to do the same. Vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a source of strength and connection. When you are willing to be real, to share your struggles and your triumphs, you create a space for authenticity and growth. Another important aspect of shining your own light is self-expression. Self-expression is the act of sharing your thoughts, feelings, and ideas with the world. It can take many forms: writing, speaking, creating art, dancing, singing, or simply being yourself in your daily interactions. Self-expression is a powerful way to connect with others, to process your emotions, and to make your mark on the world. When you express yourself authentically, you invite others to do the same, creating a culture of openness and creativity. Shining your own light also means being open to feedback and growth. No one is perfect, and we all have room to learn and grow. When you are open to feedback, you demonstrate humility and a willingness to improve. Feedback, whether from mentors, colleagues, friends, or family, helps you to see yourself more clearly and to identify areas for growth. Being open to feedback is a sign of strength and a commitment to shining your own light. Another key to shining your own light is to surround yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with, the stories you listen to, and the environments you immerse yourself in all shape your outlook and your ability to shine. When you surround yourself with people who support, encourage, and inspire you, you are more likely to believe in yourself and to express your true self. Positive influences help you to stay motivated, to overcome challenges, and to keep shining, even when things get tough. Shining your own light is also about embracing change and uncertainty. Life is full of twists and turns, and the ability to adapt and to stay true to yourself in the face of change is essential for shining your own light. When you embrace change, you become more flexible, more resilient, and more open to new possibilities. Change is not always easy, but it is often the catalyst for growth and transformation. Another important aspect of shining your own light is self-care. Taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being is essential for being able to shine brightly. Self-care can take many forms: getting enough rest, eating nourishing foods, exercising, spending time in nature, or simply taking a moment to relax and recharge. When you prioritize self-care, you create a strong foundation for self-expression and growth. Shining your own light is also about giving yourself permission to dream big. When you allow yourself to imagine the life you truly want, you open yourself up to new possibilities and opportunities. Dreaming big is not about being unrealistic, it is about believing in your potential and being willing to take steps toward your goals. When you dream big, you inspire yourself and others to reach for the stars. Ultimately, shining your own light is a choice to be yourself, to share your gifts, and to make a positive impact on the world. It is a journey that requires courage, authenticity, and a willingness to grow. But the rewards are profound: a deeper sense of self, greater confidence, and a life that is true to who you are. Let us remember that the world needs your light. There is only one you, and your unique perspective, talents, and gifts are irreplaceable. By shining your own light, you make the world a brighter, more beautiful place not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Shining your own light is not about competing with others or comparing yourself to them. It is about focusing on your own journey, celebrating your progress, and being inspired by the light in others. When you let go of comparison and competition, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and self-doubt. You create space for your own growth and self-expression, and you become a source of inspiration for others. Another important aspect of shining your own light is to be present. When you are fully present in each moment, you are able to express yourself authentically and to connect deeply with others. Presence allows you to notice opportunities, to appreciate the beauty around you, and to respond to life with clarity and intention. Being present is a powerful way to shine your own light and to make a positive impact on the world. Shining your own light is also about embracing diversity and inclusion. When you recognize and celebrate the unique qualities of others, you create a culture of respect and belonging. Embracing diversity means valuing different perspectives, experiences, and ways of being. It means creating space for everyone to shine, regardless of their background or identity. When you embrace diversity, you contribute to a world that is more vibrant, compassionate, and full of possibility. Another key to shining your own light is to practice kindness and compassion. When you treat yourself and others with kindness, you create a positive, supportive environment in which everyone can thrive. Kindness is contagious. It inspires others to be kind, and it creates a ripple effect of positivity and connection. When you practice compassion, you demonstrate empathy and understanding, and you help others to feel seen and valued. Shining your own light is also about finding your purpose. Purpose is the sense of meaning and direction that comes from knowing why you do what you do. When you connect with your purpose, you are more motivated, more resilient, and more able to shine brightly. Finding your purpose is a journey of self-discovery, reflection, and exploration. It is about identifying what matters most to you and aligning your actions with your values. Ultimately, shining your own light is about creating a life that is authentic, meaningful, and joyful. It is about being yourself, sharing your gifts, and inspiring others to do the same. When you shine your own light, you contribute to a world that is more vibrant, compassionate, and full of possibility. Let us remember that the world needs your light. There is only one you, and your unique perspective, talents, and gifts are irreplaceable. By shining your own light, you make the world a brighter, more beautiful place not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Chapter 3: Accepting Yourself. Accepting yourself is one of the most powerful and transformative steps you can take on the journey of self-growth. It is about embracing who you are, your strengths and your weaknesses, your successes and your failures, your light and your shadows with kindness, compassion, and understanding. Self-acceptance is not about complacency or giving up on growth, rather, it is the foundation upon which true growth and happiness are built. In this chapter, we will explore what it means to accept yourself, why it matters, and how you can cultivate this essential practice in your daily life. From the moment we are born, we are shaped by the expectations, opinions, and judgments of others. As we grow up, we learn to compare ourselves to those around us, to measure our worth by external standards, and to seek approval and validation from outside sources. While feedback and guidance from others can be valuable, relying too heavily on external validation can lead to self-doubt, insecurity, and a sense of never being good enough. Accepting yourself is about shifting your focus inward, learning to trust your own judgment, to value your own experiences, and to recognize your inherent worth. Self-acceptance begins with self-awareness. It is about taking an honest look at yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors without judgment or criticism. Self-awareness allows you to recognize your patterns, to understand your motivations, and to identify areas where you would like to grow. When you approach yourself with curiosity and openness, you create space for self-discovery and self-compassion. You begin to see yourself as a work in progress, imperfect, yes, but also capable of growth, learning, and change. Another important aspect of self-acceptance is self-compassion. Self-compassion is the practice of treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and support that you would offer to a dear friend. It is about acknowledging your struggles, forgiving your mistakes, and reminding yourself that you are human, that you are allowed to be imperfect, to make mistakes, and to have bad days. Self-compassion helps to quiet your inner critic, to reduce self-judgment, and to create a sense of inner peace and well-being. When you practice self-compassion, you build resilience, self-confidence, and the courage to keep moving forward, even when things are difficult. Accepting yourself also means letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is the belief that you must be flawless in order to be worthy of love, respect, or success. While striving for excellence can be motivating, perfectionism often leads to stress, anxiety, and a fear of failure. When you let go of perfectionism, you free yourself from unrealistic expectations and allow yourself to enjoy the process of learning and growing. You begin to see mistakes and setbacks as opportunities for growth, rather than as evidence of inadequacy. Another key to self-acceptance is embracing your uniqueness. Each of us is born with a unique combination of talents, interests, and perspectives. No two people are exactly alike, and it is this diversity that makes the world such a rich and vibrant place. When you embrace your uniqueness, you honor your authentic self and give yourself permission to shine in your own way. You stop comparing yourself to others and start celebrating your own journey. Embracing your uniqueness is a powerful act of self-love and self-respect. Self-acceptance is also about setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are the limits you set to protect your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. When you set boundaries, you communicate your needs, your values, and your limits to others. You say no when necessary, and you prioritize your own well-being. Setting boundaries is an important part of self-care and self-respect, and it helps you to create a life that is true to who you are. Another important aspect of self-acceptance is forgiveness. Holding onto grudges, regrets, or self self-blame can weigh you down and prevent you from moving forward. When you practice forgiveness for yourself and for others, you free yourself from the burden of the past and open yourself up to new possibilities. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful behavior or forgetting painful experiences. It is about releasing resentment and choosing to move forward with compassion and understanding. Self-acceptance is also about recognizing and celebrating your progress. Growth is not always linear, and there will be times when you feel stuck or discouraged. But when you take time to acknowledge your efforts, to celebrate your achievements no matter how small, you build confidence and motivation. Celebrating your progress helps you to see how far you have come and to stay focused on your goals. Ultimately, accepting yourself is about creating a relationship with yourself that is based on kindness, compassion, and understanding. It is about recognizing your worth, honoring your journey, and giving yourself permission to be who you are. When you accept yourself, you create a foundation for happiness, resilience, and authentic growth. Let us remember that self-acceptance is a journey, not a destination. It is a practice that requires patience, effort, and a willingness to be gentle with yourself. By making self-acceptance a daily habit, you create a life that is more peaceful, more joyful, and more true to who you are. Self-acceptance is not about ignoring your flaws or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about acknowledging your imperfections and loving yourself anyway. When you accept yourself as you are, you free yourself from the need for external validation, and allow yourself to grow from a place of authenticity and self-respect. Self-acceptance is a powerful act of self-love, and it is essential for building confidence, resilience, and inner peace. Another important aspect of self-acceptance is self-expression. When you accept yourself, you give yourself permission to express your thoughts, feelings, and ideas openly and honestly. You speak your truth, share your gifts, and show up as yourself in the world. Self-expression is a powerful way to connect with others, to process your emotions, and to make your mark on the world. When you express yourself authentically, you invite others to do the same, creating a culture of openness and authenticity. Self-acceptance is also about being open to feedback and growth. No one is perfect, and we all have room to learn and grow. When you are open to feedback, you demonstrate humility and a willingness to improve. Feedback, whether from mentors, colleagues, friends, or family, helps you to see yourself more clearly and to identify areas for growth. Being open to feedback is a sign of strength and a commitment to self-acceptance. Another key to self-acceptance is surrounding yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with, the stories you listen to, and the environments you immerse yourself in all shape your outlook and your ability to accept yourself. When you surround yourself with people who support, encourage, and inspire you, you are more likely to believe in yourself and to accept yourself as you are. positive influences help you to stay motivated, to overcome challenges, and to keep growing. Self-acceptance is also about embracing change and uncertainty. Life is full of twists and turns, and the ability to adapt and to stay true to yourself in the face of change is essential for self-acceptance. When you embrace change, you become more flexible, more resilient, and more open to new possibilities. Change is not always easy, but it is often the catalyst for growth and transformation. Another important aspect of self-acceptance is self-care. Taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being is essential for being able to accept yourself. Self-care can take many forms: getting enough rest, eating nourishing foods, exercising, spending time in nature, or simply taking a moment to relax and recharge. When you prioritize self-care, you create a strong foundation for self-acceptance and growth. Self-acceptance is also about giving yourself permission to dream big. When you accept yourself, you believe in your potential and your ability to achieve your goals. You allow yourself to imagine the life you truly want and to take steps toward making it a reality. Dreaming big is not about being unrealistic, it is about believing in yourself and your ability to grow and succeed. Ultimately, self-acceptance is about creating a life that is authentic, meaningful, and joyful. It is about being yourself, celebrating your journey, and inspiring others to do the same. When you accept yourself, you contribute to a world that is more compassionate, more inclusive, and more full of possibility. Let us remember that self-acceptance is a gift we give ourselves. It is the foundation for happiness, resilience, and authentic growth. By making self-acceptance a daily practice, we create a life that is more peaceful, more joyful, and more true to who we are. Self-acceptance is not about comparing yourself to others or striving to meet someone else's standards. It is about focusing on your own journey, celebrating your progress, and being inspired by the light in others. When you let go of comparison and competition, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and self-doubt. You create space for your own growth and self-expression, and you become a source of inspiration for others. Another important aspect of self-acceptance is to be present. When you are fully present in each moment, you are able to accept yourself as you are, without judgment or criticism. Presence allows you to notice your thoughts and feelings, to appreciate the beauty of the present moment, and to respond to life with clarity and intention. Being present is a powerful way to cultivate self-acceptance and to make a positive impact on the world. Self-acceptance is also about embracing diversity and inclusion. When you recognize and celebrate the unique qualities of others, you create a culture of respect and belonging. Embracing diversity means valuing different perspectives, experiences, and ways of being. It means creating space for everyone to be themselves, regardless of their background or identity. When you embrace diversity, you contribute to a world that is more vibrant, compassionate, and full of possibility. Another key to self-acceptance is to practice kindness and compassion. When you treat yourself and others with kindness, you create a positive, supportive environment in which everyone can thrive. When you accept yourself, you believe in your potential and your ability to achieve your goals. You allow yourself to imagine the life you truly want and to take steps toward making it a reality. Dreaming big is not about being unrealistic, it is about believing in yourself and your ability to grow and succeed. Ultimately, self-acceptance is about creating a life that is authentic, meaningful, and joyful. It is about being yourself, celebrating your journey, and inspiring others to do the same. When you accept yourself, you contribute to a world that is more compassionate, more inclusive, and more full of possibility. Let us remember that self-acceptance is a gift we give ourselves. It is the foundation for happiness, resilience, and authentic growth. By making self-acceptance a daily practice, we create a life that is more peaceful, more joyful, and more true to who we are. Self-acceptance is not about comparing yourself to others or striving to meet someone else's standards. It is about focusing on your own journey, celebrating your progress, and being inspired by the light in others. When you let go of comparison and competition, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and self-doubt. You create space for your own growth and self-expression, and you become a source of inspiration for others. Another important aspect of self-acceptance is to be present. When you are fully present in each moment, you are able to accept yourself as you are, without judgment or criticism. Presence allows you to notice your thoughts and feelings, to appreciate the beauty of the present moment, and to respond to life with clarity and intention. Being present is a powerful way to cultivate self-acceptance and to make a positive impact on the world. Self-acceptance is also about embracing diversity and inclusion. When you recognize and celebrate the unique qualities of others, you create a culture of respect and belonging. Embracing diversity means valuing different perspectives, experiences, and ways of being. It means creating space for everyone to be themselves, regardless of their background or identity. When you embrace diversity, you contribute to a world that is more vibrant, compassionate, and full of possibility. Another key to self-acceptance is to practice kindness and compassion. When you treat yourself and others with kindness, you create a positive, supportive environment in which everyone can thrive. Kindness is contagious. It inspires others to be kind, and it creates a ripple effect of positivity and connection. When you practice compassion, you demonstrate empathy and understanding, and you help others to feel seen and valued. Self-acceptance is also about finding your purpose. Purpose is the sense of meaning and direction that comes from knowing why you do what you do. When you connect with your purpose, you are more motivated, more resilient, and more able to accept yourself as you are. Finding your purpose is a journey of self-discovery, reflection, and exploration. It is about identifying what matters most to you and aligning your actions with your values. Ultimately, self-acceptance is about creating a life that is authentic, meaningful, and joyful. It is about being yourself, celebrating your journey, and inspiring others to do the same. When you accept yourself, you contribute to a world that is more compassionate, more inclusive, and more full of possibility. Let us remember that self-acceptance is a gift we give ourselves. It is the foundation for happiness, resilience, and authentic growth. By making self-acceptance a daily practice, we create a life that is more peaceful, more joyful, and more true to who we are. Chapter 4. Accepting yourself. Failure is often seen as something to be avoided, feared, or hidden. We are taught from a young age to strive for success, to get good grades, to win competitions, and to make as few mistakes as possible. Yet, failure is an inevitable part of life, an experience that every person, no matter how talented or determined, will face at some point. Rather than something to be ashamed of, failure can be one of our greatest teachers. In this chapter, we will explore what it means to learn from failure, why it is essential for growth, and how you can turn setbacks into stepping stones on your journey towards self-improvement and fulfillment. The fear of failure can be paralyzing. It can hold us back from trying new things, taking risks, or pursuing our dreams. We worry about what others will think, about disappointing ourselves or those we care about, and about the consequences of making a mistake. But when we allow this fear to control us, we miss out on opportunities for growth, discovery, and self-expression. Learning to embrace failure, to see it not as a dead end, but as a valuable learning experience, is one of the most important skills we can develop. One of the first steps in learning from failure is changing our perspective. Instead of viewing failure as a sign of weakness or inadequacy, we can choose to see it as a natural part of the learning process. Every great inventor, artist, athlete, and leader has experienced failure at some point in their journey. What sets them apart is not a lack of setbacks, but the ability to learn from them, to adapt, and to keep moving forward. When we shift our mindset in this way, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and become more resilient in the face of challenges. Another important aspect of learning from failure is self-reflection. After a setback, it is helpful to take a step back and ask ourselves what went wrong, what we could have done differently, and what lessons we can take away from the experience. Self-reflection allows us to analyze our actions and decisions, to identify areas for improvement, and to make adjustments for the future. It is not about dwelling on mistakes or criticizing ourselves, but about using failure as a tool for growth and self-improvement. Failure also teaches us humility. When we experience setbacks, we are reminded that we are not perfect, that we do not have all the answers, and that we are still learning and growing. Humility is a valuable quality. It keeps us open to feedback, willing to ask for help, and eager to learn from others. When we approach failure with humility, we become more teachable, more adaptable, and more compassionate toward ourselves and those around us. Another key to learning from failure is perseverance. The path to success is rarely smooth or straightforward. There will be obstacles, detours, and moments of doubt. Perseverance is the ability to keep going, to pick ourselves up after a fall, and to stay committed to our goals despite setbacks. When we persevere, we build resilience, confidence, and the belief that we can overcome any challenge that comes our way. Failure can also be a source of creativity and innovation. When things do not go as planned, we are forced to think outside the box, to try new approaches, and to find creative solutions to problems. Some of the most groundbreaking ideas and inventions have come from failures and mistakes. When we embrace failure as a catalyst for creativity, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and discover strengths we never knew we had. Learning from failure is also about developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. People with a growth mindset see failure as an opportunity to learn and grow, rather than as a reflection of their worth or potential. When we adopt a growth mindset, we become more resilient, more motivated, and more willing to take on challenges. Another important aspect of learning from failure is self-compassion. It is easy to be hard on ourselves when things do not go as planned. We may feel disappointed, embarrassed, or frustrated. But self-compassion, treating ourselves with kindness, understanding, and support helps us to bounce back from failure and to keep moving forward. Self-compassion reminds us that everyone makes mistakes, that failure is a part of being human, and that we are not alone in our struggles. Failure can also strengthen our relationships. When we are open about our failures and share our experiences with others, we create deeper connections and build trust. Sharing our struggles allows others to see us as authentic and relatable, and it encourages them to be open about their own challenges. When we support each other through failure, we create a community of resilience, encouragement, and mutual growth. Another key to learning from failure is setting realistic expectations. Sometimes, failure happens because our goals are unrealistic or because we put too much pressure on ourselves to succeed. Setting realistic, achievable goals helps us to stay motivated, to make progress, and to celebrate small victories along the way. When we adjust our expectations and focus on progress rather than perfection, we create a healthier, more sustainable approach to growth and success. Ultimately, learning from failure is about embracing the journey of self-improvement and recognizing that every setback is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become a better version of ourselves. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of success. When we learn from our mistakes, we become wiser, stronger, and more confident in our ability to handle whatever life throws our way. Let us remember that failure is not something to be feared or avoided, but something to be embraced as a natural and valuable part of life. By learning from failure, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, discover our strengths, and build the resilience we need to achieve our dreams. When we view failure as a teacher rather than an enemy, we create a life that is richer, more meaningful, and more fulfilling. Learning from failure is also about letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is the belief that we must never make mistakes or fall short of our goals. While striving for excellence is admirable, perfectionism can lead to stress, anxiety, and a fear of taking risks. When we let go of perfectionism, we free ourselves to try new things, to make mistakes, and to learn from our experiences. We become more open to feedback, more willing to experiment, and more resilient in the face of setbacks. Another important aspect of learning from failure is developing problem-solving skills. When things do not go as planned, we are forced to analyze the situation, to identify what went wrong, and to find solutions. Problem-solving skills are essential for success in all areas of life, whether at work, in relationships, or in personal pursuits. By practicing problem-solving, we become more adaptable, more resourceful, and more confident in our ability to handle challenges. Failure can also teach us patience. Success rarely happens overnight. It takes time, effort, and persistence to achieve our goals. When we experience setbacks, we are reminded that growth is a process, and that progress often comes in small, incremental steps. Patience helps us to stay committed to our goals, to trust the process, and to keep moving forward even when the results are not immediate. Another key to learning from failure is staying positive. It is easy to become discouraged or to give up when things do not go as planned. But maintaining a positive attitude, focusing on what we can learn, on the progress we have made, and on the possibilities ahead helps us to stay motivated and resilient. A positive mindset allows us to see failure as a temporary setback rather than a permanent defeat, and to keep striving for our goals. Learning from failure is also about celebrating progress, not just outcomes. Success is not always about achieving a specific result, but about the lessons we learn, the skills we develop, and the growth we experience along the way. When we celebrate our progress, no matter how small, we build confidence, motivation, and a sense of accomplishment. Celebrating progress helps us to stay focused, to keep learning, and to appreciate the journey as much as the destination. Another important aspect of learning from failure is seeking feedback. Feedback from others, whether from mentors, colleagues, friends, or family, can provide valuable insights and help us to see our mistakes from a different perspective. Being open to feedback is a sign of strength and a commitment to growth. It allows us to learn from our experiences, to make adjustments, and to improve for the future. Ultimately, learning from failure is about building resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to adapt to change, and to keep moving forward. Resilience is not something we are born with, but something we develop through experience and practice. When we face failure with courage, curiosity, and a willingness to learn, we become stronger, more confident, and more capable of achieving our dreams. Let us remember that everyone experiences failure at some point in their lives. It is not a reflection of our worth or potential, but a natural part of the human experience. By learning from failure, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, discover our strengths, and build the resilience we need to thrive. When we embrace failure as a teacher, we create a life that is richer, more meaningful, and more fulfilling. Learning from failure is also about maintaining perspective. It is easy to become overwhelmed or discouraged when things do not go as planned. But by stepping back and looking at the bigger picture, we can see that failure is just one chapter in our story, not the whole book. Maintaining perspective helps us to stay hopeful, to keep our goals in sight, and to remember that every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Another important aspect of learning from failure is staying curious. Curiosity is the desire to learn, to explore, and to understand. When we approach failure with curiosity, we ask questions, seek new information, and look for ways to improve. Curiosity helps us to stay engaged, to keep learning, and to find creative solutions to problems. Learning from failure is also about building confidence. Each time we face a setback and come out stronger on the other side, we build confidence in our ability to handle challenges. Confidence is not about never failing, but about believing in ourselves and our ability to learn and grow. When we build confidence through experience, we become more willing to take risks, to try new things, and to pursue our dreams. Another key to learning from failure is staying connected to our purpose. When we have a clear sense of why we do what we do, we are more motivated to keep going, even when things get tough. Purpose gives us direction, meaning, and the strength to persevere. When we stay connected to our purpose, we are better able to learn from failure and to keep moving forward. Ultimately, learning from failure is about creating a life that is resilient, meaningful, and full of possibility. It is about embracing the journey, celebrating our progress, and trusting in our ability to grow and succeed. When we learn from failure, we become wiser, stronger, and more confident in our ability to handle whatever life throws our way. Let us remember that failure is not something to be feared or avoided, but something to be embraced as a natural and valuable part of life. By learning from failure, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, discover our strengths, and build the resilience we need to achieve our dreams. When we view failure as a teacher rather than an enemy, we create a life that is richer, more meaningful, and more fulfilling. Chapter 5: A Positive Mindset. A positive mindset is one of the most powerful tools we can cultivate for a fulfilling and meaningful life. It is the ability to see the good in ourselves, in others, and in the world around Ep.07 in the face of challenges and setbacks. A positive mindset does not mean ignoring reality or pretending that everything is perfect. Rather, it is about choosing to focus on possibilities, solutions, and growth, rather than on problems and limitations. In this chapter, we will explore what it means to have a positive mindset, why it matters, and how you can develop and maintain this essential attitude in your daily life. From the moment we wake up to the moment we fall asleep, our thoughts shape our experiences and our reality. The way we interpret events, respond to challenges, and interact with others is deeply influenced by our mindset. When we approach life with a positive mindset, we are more resilient, more creative, and better able to handle whatever comes our way. A positive mindset helps us to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to find hope in difficult times, and to keep moving forward with courage and determination. One of the first steps in developing a positive mindset is self-awareness. It is about noticing our thoughts, feelings, and actions, and recognizing when we are slipping into negative or limiting patterns. Self-awareness allows us to pause, to reflect, and to choose a more constructive response. By becoming more aware of our inner dialogue, we can begin to shift our mindset and to cultivate a more positive outlook on life. Another important aspect of a positive mindset is gratitude. Gratitude is the practice of recognizing and appreciating the good things in our lives, no matter how small. When we focus on what we are grateful for, we shift our attention away from what is lacking or what is troubling us, and toward what is positive and meaningful. Gratitude helps us to see the world in a new light, to find joy in simple things, and to cultivate a sense of contentment and peace. Practicing gratitude regularly, whether through journaling, meditation, or simply taking a moment to reflect, can have a profound impact on our mindset and our overall well-being. Optimism is another key component of a positive mindset. Optimism is the belief that good things are possible, that challenges can be overcome, and that the future holds promise. Optimistic people are more likely to take risks, to persevere in the face of adversity, and to find creative solutions to problems. While it is important to be realistic and to acknowledge difficulties, optimism helps us to stay hopeful and to keep working toward our goals, even when the path is unclear. Resilience is closely linked to a positive mindset. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to adapt to change, and to keep moving forward despite challenges. When we have a positive mindset, we are better able to cope with stress, to recover from disappointment, and to maintain our sense of purpose. Resilience is not something we are born with, but something we can develop through practice, self-reflection, and a commitment to growth. Another important aspect of a positive mindset is self-compassion. It is easy to be hard on ourselves when things do not go as planned or when we make mistakes. Self-compassion is the practice of treating ourselves with kindness, understanding, and support, especially during difficult times. When we practice self-compassion, we build resilience, reduce self-criticism, and create a sense of inner peace. Self-compassion helps us to stay positive and to keep moving forward, even when we face setbacks or failures. A positive mindset also involves focusing on solutions rather than problems. When we encounter challenges, it is natural to feel frustrated or overwhelmed. However, when we shift our focus to finding solutions, we become more proactive, more creative, and more effective. Solution-focused thinking helps us to see obstacles as opportunities for growth, to learn from our experiences, and to make progress toward our goals. Surrounding ourselves with positive influences is another key to maintaining a positive mindset. The people we spend time with, the stories we listen to, and the environments we immerse ourselves in all shape our outlook and our mindset. When we seek out inspiration, encouragement, and support, we strengthen our own positivity and become a source of positivity for others. Positive relationships and environments help us to stay motivated, to overcome challenges, and to keep growing. Another important aspect of a positive mindset is letting go of negativity. Negativity can come from within such as self-doubt, fear, or criticize more from external sources, such as negative news or toxic relationships. When we learn to recognize and let go of negativity, we create space for positivity, hope, and growth. Letting go of negativity does not mean ignoring problems or pretending that everything is fine. Rather, it means choosing to focus on what is constructive, what is uplifting, and what is possible. A positive mindset is also about embracing change. Life is constantly changing, and the ability to adapt and to stay positive in the face of change is essential for growth and well-being. When we embrace change, we become more flexible, more open-minded, and better able to navigate the ups and downs of life. Change can be challenging, but it also brings new opportunities, new experiences, and new possibilities for growth. Ultimately, a positive mindset is a choice to focus on the good, to believe in possibilities, and to keep moving forward with hope and determination. It is a practice that requires intention, awareness, and commitment. But the rewards are profound: greater peace, deeper joy, and a richer, more meaningful life. Let us remember that a positive mindset is not about ignoring reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about choosing to see the good, to focus on solutions, and to believe in our ability to grow and succeed. When we cultivate a positive mindset, we create a foundation for happiness, resilience, and authentic growth. A positive mindset can be cultivated through daily habits and practices. One powerful habit is positive self-talk. The way we speak to ourselves, or inner dialogue, has a significant impact on our mindset and our self-esteem. When we practice positive self-talk, we encourage ourselves, remind ourselves of our strengths, and reinforce our belief in our ability to overcome challenges. Positive self-talk helps us to stay motivated, to build confidence, and to maintain a hopeful outlook. Another habit that supports a positive mindset is setting realistic and meaningful goals. Goals give us direction, motivation, and a sense of purpose. When we set goals that are aligned with our values and aspirations, we are more likely to stay positive and focused, even when we face obstacles. Achieving small goals along the way builds momentum and reinforces our belief in our ability to succeed. Mindfulness is another practice that supports a positive mindset. Mindfulness is the ability to be fully present in the moment, to notice our thoughts and feelings without judgment, and to respond with clarity and intention. When we practice mindfulness, we become more aware of our mindset, more able to shift negative patterns, and more open to positive experiences. Mindfulness helps us to stay grounded, to reduce stress, and to cultivate a sense of peace and well-being. Another way to maintain a positive mindset is to celebrate progress, not just outcomes. Success is not always about achieving a specific result, but about the lessons we learn, the skills we develop, and the growth we experience along the way. When we celebrate our progress, no matter how small, we build confidence, motivation, and a sense of accomplishment. Celebrating progress helps us to stay positive and to keep moving forward, even when the journey is challenging. A positive mindset is also about embracing diversity and inclusion. When we recognize and celebrate the unique qualities of others, we create a culture of respect and belonging. Embracing diversity means valuing different perspectives, experiences, and ways of being. It means creating space for everyone to shine, regardless of their background or identity. When we embrace diversity, we contribute to a world that is more vibrant, compassionate, and full of possibility. Another important aspect of a positive mindset is kindness and compassion. When we treat ourselves and others with kindness, we create a positive, supportive environment in which everyone can thrive. Kindness is contagious. It inspires others to be kind, and it creates a ripple effect of positivity and connection. When we practice compassion, we demonstrate empathy and understanding, and we help others to feel seen and valued. A positive mindset is also about finding meaning and purpose. Purpose is the sense of meaning and direction that comes from knowing why we do what we do. When we connect with our purpose, we are more motivated, more resilient, and more able to maintain a positive outlook, even in difficult times. Finding purpose is a journey of self-discovery, reflection, and exploration. It is about identifying what matters most to us and aligning our actions with our values. Ultimately, a positive mindset is about creating a life that is authentic, meaningful, and joyful. It is about choosing to focus on the good, to believe in possibilities, and to keep moving forward with hope and determination. When we cultivate a positive mindset, we create a foundation for happiness, resilience, and authentic growth. Let us remember that a positive mindset is a gift we give ourselves and those around us. It is the foundation for a fulfilling life, strong relationships, and a brighter future. By making a positive mindset a daily practice, we create a world that is more compassionate, more resilient, and more full of possibility. A positive mindset is not about ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is easy. It is about facing difficulties with courage, resilience, and hope. When we encounter setbacks or disappointments, a positive mindset helps us to see them as temporary, to learn from them, and to keep moving forward. It reminds us that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and that every experience, whether positive or negative, has something to teach us. Another important aspect of a positive mindset is staying open to learning and growth. Life is a continuous journey of discovery, and the willingness to learn from our experiences, from others, and from the world around us is essential for maintaining a positive outlook. When we stay open to learning, we become more adaptable, more creative, and more resilient. We are better able to handle change, to solve problems, and to find new opportunities for growth. A positive mindset is also about building strong, supportive relationships. When we surround ourselves with people who encourage us, inspire us, and believe in us, we are more likely to stay positive and motivated. Positive relationships provide us with support, feedback, and a sense of belonging. They help us to overcome challenges, to celebrate successes, and to keep growing. Another way to maintain a positive mindset is to practice gratitude regularly. Gratitude is a powerful tool for shifting our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. When we take time to appreciate the good things in our our lives. No matter how small, we cultivate a sense of contentment, joy, and peace. Gratitude helps us to stay positive, to build resilience, and to create a more fulfilling life. A positive mindset is also about being kind to ourselves. It is easy to be hard on ourselves when we make mistakes or fall short of our goals. But self-kindness, treating ourselves with compassion, understanding, and support helps us to stay positive and to keep moving forward. Self-kindness reminds us that we are human, that we are allowed to make mistakes, and that we are worthy of love and respect. Ultimately, a positive mindset is about choosing hope over fear, possibility over limitation, and growth over stagnation. It is about believing in ourselves, in others, and in the future. When we cultivate a positive mindset, we create a life that is richer, more meaningful, and more joyful. Let us remember that a positive mindset is not just for ourselves, it is a gift we can share with the world. When we choose to be positive, we inspire others to do the same. We create a ripple effect of hope, courage, and possibility. By making a positive mindset a daily practice, we contribute to a world that is more compassionate, more resilient, and more full of life. May tomorrow bring you warmth, light, and new hope. Good night. You've done enough today.